Hello everybody, welcome to another Daily Horizon View. The date today is the 21st of the 5th, 2019. We are looking today at the top 5's for the ASX exchange traded funds. Our spotlight today is tech, which is ETF's Morningstar Global Technology ETF. As always, we're here to crack your financial sky, give you information, demystifying investments and ETFs if we can. That's our goal. So like, subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. Helps me with the algorithms and get me a few more subscribers and like, that'd be great. So let's have a look-see at the top percentage rises. Today we had China New, China ETF, MVA, MVB, and SLF. So our top rise today being a CNU, which is the VanEck Vectors China New Economy ETF. That ETF tracks the MSCI market grader China New Economy Index. So it's a flash index to get yourself some exposure to the new and up-and-coming companies in China. Percentage rise today was quite strong. We saw a 3.58% gain, or that was equated to 22 cents. Some very strong volume today. We saw 22,200 traded. This ETF, along with its sister ETF, which is CETF, got smashed yesterday. So a few people come in to buy on the downs, so we'll see what happens the next few days with the China-US trade wars. Our top five percentage falls. We saw MVR, QR, HEUR, Tech, SSO. So Tech, just a quick reminder, is the spotlight today. Skip on through to the end. Have a look at it. It's an interesting little ETF, well worth the wait, or skip through to the end. So we had MVR. MVR is the VanEck Vectors Australia Resources ETF, and that one closely tracks the Market Vectors Australia Energy and Mining Index. Relatively small mid-range ETF that's got 55 million market cap, and there's a little bit of a dividend yield at 2.26%, so you get some money back in your pocket. We saw a percentage fall today of 2.38%, which equated to a loss of 69 cents. We saw reasonable volume, 18,300 shares traded today. Have a look at our top $5 rises. We saw ETPMPD, CETF, VAP, IZZ, BGE. So for those of us who've forgotten, ETPMPD is the ETF's physical palladium ETFs, and that's backed by physically allocated precious metal, which is held in the HSBC Bank in the United States, if I can get all that out. And that is a very, very small ETF, roughly $2 million market cap. We had a rise today of $2.18, which equates to 1.19%. We had a very, very low volume, 110 shares traded. As mentioned, that is a very small ETF, so that's not unexpected. So top $5 falls, we saw SPY, IHVV, CURE, IHOO, IJH. So SPY is the State Street Spider S&P 500 ETF trust, and that one, as the name suggests, that tracks the S&P 500 index. Relatively small ETF in the scheme of things. It has rough market cap of $31 million, and you'll get a little dividend yield there of 1.76%. We saw a loss in the value of the share price in that one of $2.19, which was 0.53%. Reasonable volume for that small ETF of 1,000 shares traded today. Top 5 number of trades. We saw IVV, VHS, STW, VGS, BAP. So that's a list of the who's who and the big end of town there, but IVV was quite popular. Then for those who have forgotten, that is the iShares S&P 500 ETF. So that tracks the large cap shares in the US market. That one is quite a large one. You'll see a market cap of roughly $3.1 billion. You'll have a little dividend yield there of 1.67%. And this one, for those who don't know, is highly rated by Morningstar. So that one gets a gold rating there. So we saw 731 trades today. Looks to be most of those on the upside. You had a rise in the share price of 57 cents, which equated to 0.14%. Moving on. Top 5 for volume. We saw ILC, STW, CRED, VAS, and PM Gold. ILC, which is one that doesn't come up too regularly, but that's the iShares S&P ASX 20 ETF. So that one, the fund invests in Australian shares and trusts listed in the ASX. So obviously focusing on the very, very top part of the ASX, so ASX 20. So you're only going to see companies in the ETF, which are the 20 largest companies listed on the ASX. That one has a market cap of roughly $315 million. Good little yield here. Roughly when I updated this a while back was about 4.7%. You also get a pretty good rating there from Morningstar, so that's a bronze rating there. So volume-wise, we saw 225,300 shares traded. On the upside, there's a small rise, gaining share price of 20 cents, which equates to 0.78%. Top 5 for value. We saw STW, VAS, ILC, IVV, and CRED. So STW is the State Street Spider ASX 200 fund. I think we've mentioned that one before. There's a bit of a, the market cap for that one is roughly 3.7 billion. You get a reasonable yield, 4.36%. Decent Morningstar rating of bronze, so not bad, not good in the middle there. We saw a value of the shares traded today, $13.6 million. On the upside, 22-cent gain. That equates to 0.36% rise, if I can get my words out properly. Let's crack on into our spotlight. I think the spotlight today is a very interesting one. So the ETFs tech, Morningstar Global Technology ETF, that aims to provide investors with a return before all the fees, taxes, expenses, blah, 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 that tracks the performance of the Morningstar Developed Markets Technology MOAT Focus Index. By holding all the shares that make up the index closely in proportion to their index weights. So tech should give investors a focused and pure technology exposure while reducing single stock risk through equal weighting. This ETF is This ETF utilises the Morningstar MOAT methodology to select companies that are market leaders and have a distinct competitive advantage over others in the same field. Morningstar analysts select stocks with the most attractive price to fair value ratios to reach and then it's quarterly rebalanced after that. So the ETF offers a broad exposure to global technology sector and is not just limited to the US, although it is heavily skewed to the US. This ETF is unhedged and also offers exposure to a constituent currencies against the Australian dollar. If I can get all that out. So a quick look at the broader metrics. So we have a net asset value of roughly $74.95. Closed out trading today at $75.68. So just that bit of a lag. So it's pretty close to the net asset value. We have a market cap of this ETF of $88.7 million. Market costs per annum are pretty reasonable for this type of ETF, I think. 0.45%, and you get a semi-annual distribution, so start of the year and middle of the year in January and July. Dividend yield is around 5%. This is a relatively new ETF, so they're still working the shit through the system on that one. As mentioned before, I think this is an interesting ETF. It offers a broad exposure to global technology sector. The index is designed to identify technology companies with a long-term sustainable competitive advantage, which I think we all should be looking for. And at times it's hard to actually identify yourself. So one reason why this might be of interest to people. The ETF has attractive valuations because Morningstar's equity analysts select stocks with the most attractive price to fair value ratio, as mentioned before, and then each quarter it's rebalanced. So they juggle what stocks are in there and rebalance them to make sure that they're accurately tracking the index. I think this ETF could be appropriate for investors seeking exposure to a diversified portfolio, some of the best and fastest growing global technology companies. Bit of a differentiator from NDQ. NDQ is more of a NASDAQ focused ETF, and that's one of the ones down here that you should take a look at. This one is more of a moat orientated. Hopefully should give you, should be able to pick out the more durable tech stocks, because we know that tech industry is a bit fickle after sort of 2000. Also have a look at Asia, so that's top 50 tech stocks in Asia. That's always another one to have a look at. But as we say, always do our further research. Yeah, so I think this one's definitely worth a look. That's something I'll be looking at later on down the track for other parts of my portfolio to do further. So we're looking here, so top 10 stocks, you can see some familiar names, but then for me some other unfamiliar names. So the familiar names for me, obviously Microsoft, Adobe, Apple, Salesforce, IBM and Broadcom, but there's other stocks there that I have no idea what they are. Since inception, you're looking at a 24.9% return, which I think is pretty healthy. So I just keep an eye on it and go back through and check the other information and balance it up and have a look at it compared to the other ETFs if tech's looking for exposure to tech. So as always, we're not promoting any particular ETF or product, purely information here. So you need to take your own financial situation into account and get additional information and complete further research as and where required. before we make any purchases. As mentioned before, we're here to give you financial just information, I suppose, trying to demystify the whole world, make it not as scary as it appears at times. So we're here to crack your financial sky, make you guys a bit more confident if we can. So give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and make sure to hit the bell because you want know when the new videos come through. Sometimes I try to get them out at the end of every day, but sometimes it just doesn't happen depending on what else I'm doing at the time. Thanks, guys. Leave a comment. Yes, give us a like. Greatly appreciated. Catch you tomorrow. Ciao.